Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title suggests, is Johnny and Chanel, ooh, is Johnny and Chanel love story over? Now, I've said this again. This is like maybe the second time that I said this a couple months ago. I guess we're sitting there asking this question again. If you saw the question or saw the episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I am a romance at heart, despite me being the victim illness of these soap streets. Person that does believe in love. Guess you could sit there and say sometimes I could be a big old soft. But I want to sit there and hear from y'all. What do y'all think? Normally I take this day off, but I got out of work early. I got to finish my stuff early. Um, I did actually pretty much all the reviews today, except for Beyond the Gates, because well, that didn't happen. Um, let's get in the roll call and get this started. Amy H is in the chat. How you doing today? Crystal is in the chat. How you doing today? At the bank is in the chat. How you doing today? Queen of the South is in the chat. How you doing today? Uh, Queen Nakisha is in the chat. I'm gonna have to sit there and be on my best behavior tonight. The Alexis Davis of the chat is here. Double C is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Blackmon, aka GQ, Mr. GQ is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Why is this not letting me go down? I'm doing good, Ed. I'm doing good. Dollar Max is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Of course, Queen, of course. Yes, Nikisha's in the chat. Let's everyone say what's up to Nikisha. Nikisha is doing big things on her channel. Speaking of channels, me and Dion on Sunday, me and him, we're going to sit there and do a collab, a live stream. It's going to be General Hospital mainly focused, so that'll be going on Sunday. He'll be on the channel, and it'll be fun. We'll sit there and talk about my good old buddy Drew Kane and other stuff related to General Hospital. So it should be a good day. Should be a good day. I'm doing good, Blackmon. I'm doing good. I got out of work early, so it's always a good thing. Monique is in the chat. How you doing tonight? And Nikisha, I'm sad about Beyond the Gates. I was looking forward to it. Okay, so you saw what? Which one? Because I did four. Shit. I did four of the reviews today. So which one did you see? Monique says after Tracy made all that fuss about Drew taking the Quartermain name and what he tried to do with the family crypt, now she wants to work with him. Which I don't even understand why, because Drew literally said, "I can do this for myself. I don't need your help. He's already doing it. He's already got the reprimanding or whatever that thing is, the voting stuff. He's already doing that. But hey, you want to help? All right, cool. Give me that name, and we can sit there and talk business. It's actually funny, Nikisha. So I thought about that today, and the thing is, like, hi, Dad. Oh, see, now I definitely got to be on my best behavior. My gorgeous queen cat lady. Oh, did you get my email? I'm gonna send you another one tonight. But did you get my email though? Oh, where's my dad at? There we go. All right. Let's everyone say hi to my dad. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm definitely gonna be on my best behavior. I'll check it out. Okay. I'm like, where's my music at? I'm glad you're here, Dad. I was going to sit there and say all sorts of wild things. I was going to be cussing. I was going to be cussing. I'm not going to say curse. I was going to be cussing. Okay. I was going to be cussing up a storm, just acting really mean. Well, pretty much actually what I do every day. I know, but that's why I'm not doing it. That's I mean, I ate that whole rotisserie chicken by myself, the whole thing. What'd you call me again? I ate the whole chicken, Dad. What did you call me again? Oh, Ed says I saw both your days in GH review. I haven't seen days, but I caught up on GH. Oh yeah, you called me a glutton. That's what you called me. Thank you, Dad. I almost kind of forgot. And 21 kind of says, hello, Albert. Hope your Tuesday is great. It is, actually. It actually is. Hope you had a great Tuesday as well. Yes, a glutton. You called me a fat little piggy. Um, Other names I'm not going to say, but you also called me a fat piggy, too. So let's not forget those names. But, oh, of course. And Monique says, hello, Mr. Albert. I mean, hello, Mr. Bostic. How are you doing? But no, it's in a sense, okay. In a weird sense, it's kind of a good thing. Uh, Actually, tell you, the truth, I wouldn't be able to watch Beyond the Games. I wouldn't be able to do the reviews on all four of the episodes. But I would be able to watch it though. So I'm gonna try to get my dad into watching Beyond the Gates. But I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, it's probably safer to get him into General Hospital or Bold and the Beautiful. Like if I'm gonna keep it 100, you know what? Since you're here, I already know. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna sit there and say. Harry knows you're in a hospital. Like, okay, I gotta ask the chat something then. Um, what other soap opera would you recommend to my dad besides General Hospital? You take General. Like, what other soap opera would you recommend to him? Kelly says your email sucks. My email was actually pretty great. I thought it was actually pretty fun and insightful. Actually, I, my love, I actually put a lot of time into that email. What's good, Darby? I, I put a lot of time into that email. Getting lucky, putting something into his drink. Was lucky because why would? Yes. See, that was my whole thing, though, right? And I did. And what's good, double C? Domex says Mr. Bostic would enjoy some time in Fairmont Crest. Let him watch Beyond the Gaze is picking up. Okay, so Double C says days. Double C would recommend days. Oh my god, I love this woman. Wow, I can see days. I can see my dad maybe getting into days. I don't know about Beyond the Gates. Like, I don't think it's a bad soap opera. Um, And part of me would sit there and be like, I would almost sounds so bad, but I would almost rather sit there. I would almost rather sit there and tell him to watch Young and Restless. Nobody says, "Are you calling your dad old?" No, but he did call me a glutton, though. He called me a glutton just right now, just earlier. WC says B&B will put you to sleep. That's what I said, Domex. Like, I would sit there and say days. Oh, oh. Days was interesting. I mean, B&B was interesting today. B&B was actually pretty interesting today, I would say. I was gonna sit there and say I don't want anybody to feel bad for Taylor. I'm gonna just sit there and say that right off rip. I don't want nobody feeling bad for Taylor. I mean, he has a point, Albert. Every time he watches your chat, you are eating noodles. Well, that's true, but he's not talking about the noodles. So I eat an entire. Damn, I kind of forgot what I actually eat now. I don't know what I eat. Oh, rotisserie chicken. You know when you go to like the stores or whatever, like whatever supermarket, and they have rotisserie chickens. I eat the whole chicken, right? Like my dad is like, oh, I have some here, have some there. Don't eat the whole thing. What's good, Amber? I eat the whole thing. I eat the whole goddamn thing. And every time I do, my dad calls me a glut. So what I do now is I send him pictures of, well, pretty much the whole thing I ate. I don't know why I do that. I don't know why I'm talking about this now, but yeah. Domex said the slang isn't that bad. Beyond the Gates is watchable. Plus, I like Nicole Random Febreze infomercials. So I didn't talk about this that much, and I don't know if it's because I was drinking or whatever, but I didn't talk about this that much. But I'm not gonna lie, Leslie is starting to get on my damn nerves. Like, here's the thing: I get that she's supposed to be the baddie and everything like that, but like, you're talking about really got good. I get it. Yeah, I know. I ate the whole goddamn chicken. In one setting. No, yeah, I ate it in one setting. So I'm sitting there watching General Hospital or whatever, and I'm just yeah. So that's why he calls me a glutton. Yeah, yeah, Ed, you know what I'm talking about, though. My dad says I don't know who eats a whole. My dad says I don't know who eats a whole chicken other than you. Um, anyone that enjoys their chicken. That's kind of a weird question. Oh, Dad, what time are you going to sleep tonight? Why don't you remind me of what time you're going to sleep tonight? And then you can remind me of what time you're waking up. Rotisserie chickens are good, my love. Yeah, what time are you going to sleep? What time are you waking up? J Blue says it'll be interesting to see how creative the G's writers give getting Sunny out the mob and still survives. Yeah, I love to sit there and know that gymnastic trick as well. Oh, 11, wake up, go to sleep at 11, wake up at 4:45. Thank you, J Blue. That's what I'm sitting there saying. Oh, yeah, that was it. I mean, I'm a breast man too, but I mean, as far as chicken goes, I eat the whole goddamn chicken. Dominic says, "Why did I just get a mental image about eating a whole rotisserie chicken like it's a light snack?" I just, I just love their chickens. Double C's. I mean, Darby says, "But do you think Maggie is being a kind of a hypocrite, yelling at Philip for his sins while giving?" Yes, yes. That's literally what I sat there and said in my review. That's literally what I sat there and said in my review. I'm like, you're literally condoning your daughter. What's good, Ronnie Ron? Um, you're literally sitting there condoning your daughter for lying to her husband. Like, eh, yes. What's good, Jonathan? Kelly says my son eats a whole one all the time. See? See? Even your son knows the value of a good chicken. Toby says can cans are full rotisserie chicken. No, no. Full rotisserie chicken, right? Literally like right out the oven or whatever. I get it, yeah. No can not on that one. All in one sitting, Darby. All in one sitting. What's good, cherry ice cream? Tommy says Audrey really thinks she's going to be Victor. I'm laughing. Yes, that no, that I'm laughing about. I'm laughing about it, Tommy. I'm not gonna lie. Did you see my review on the Young and the Restless, by the way? What's good, Cherry? Gorgeous Queen Janet. And see, Janet misses Beyond the Gates, and Akeisha was saying the same thing. Okay, good. Johnson says, do you think it's ironic for Lucy to still be hanging around Sitwell when she fired Natalia for hiding the fact that Sitwell is her ex-husband? No. No, actually I don't. No. I'm doing good, Cherry. I'm doing good. I got to work early, so I was very happy. And yeah, you said why, right? Okay, it says, do you think it's ironic for Lucy to still be hanging around Sitwell when she fired Natalia for hiding? Because I was good, Eagle. I didn't catch today's Hollyoaks. I caught and I'm going to answer your question in 1 second, Jonathan. Um, I caught, what did I last see for? Oh, Maxine is still alive. So Frankie just stole the money, and Maxine, I guess, left. She left Hollyoaks. It turns out she wasn't dead. Uh, so yeah, I passed that part, and I think I'm at the part where Tommy put a hidden camera in their place, in Joel's place. Eagle says, "I'm so over Sophia and Tate baby story. Find a family erased." Yeah, I said the same thing, Eagle. Now, just to answer your question, you said, do you think it's ironic for Lucy to still be hanging around Sitwell when she fired? Well, okay, but her firing, okay, but that's my whole thing though. Her firing Sitwell doesn't have any, I mean, her firing Natalia doesn't have anything to do with hanging out with Sitwell. I feel like, because I feel like they're two separate things. That's my whole thing. They're two separate. Yeah, Lucy. Like, what does Lucy firing Natalia have anything to do with her dating Simba? Like, that's my whole thing. Though, like, it's they're two separate things. That's what. So yeah, that's my answer. It's like one doesn't have anything to do with the other. Domex says yes. I like the Maxine twist. Also liked her there with Mercedes. Yeah. I'm very curious more about this Tommy guy. I think that's his name, right? The guy who's obsessed with Joel, who actually had a goddamn shrine of him. Um, that was crazy. Audra needs to Audra needs to learn her lesson. I mean, Tommy. Here's my thing. It was out of pocket for Daniel to be snipped there getting up in Billy's face because let's be honest, everyone in that damn town was practically wanting Billy not to work with Phillips. Everybody in that town was sitting there doing that. So like, it's just one of those things where it's like she should be lucky that she had a job. And the fact of the matter is is was manipulating um she was manipulating Billy with her friendship. Tomex says Tommy is weird but an interesting villain. That's one thing I like about Hollyoaks. They go pretty out there with their villains. Hey Susan. Ed says I wonder if Emma and Dalton know each other and was involved with the animal testing in California or something. Yeah, she did sit there. I couldn't tell was that an offhand joke or not. Was good, Susan? John says because but it's because of who Sitwell is. Natalia didn't disclose the information. They wanted to terminate their contract with Sitwell because of his alleged crimes. Yet Lucy is hanging out with him. Yeah, but the thing is though, Jonathan, she don't care. Okay, she knows who Sitwell is. She doesn't care, right? She heard what Matt. She heard what. I'm doing good, Susan. She heard what um Lulu said about Sitwell. She heard what Sasha said about Sitwell, and that didn't stop her. That didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like so. Just to go back to your original question, yeah, you said because of who Sitwell is, Natalia didn't disclose the information. But Natalia not disclosing the information that affects her employment. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like she's clearly still doing business with Sitwell, so she's not going to sit. So does that make any sense for Natalia to lose her job? Yeah, yeah, it does. I mean, in all reality, Jonathan, I don't think it was. I don't think it was that big of a. I don't think it was that big of a deal for a fire in the fence. If we're gonna be honest, yeah, that was a mishap or whatever. It was a misstep, and I understand it being upset with her, but I didn't think it needed to escalate to the point of her being fired. But to them, a lie is a lie. Um, and if the thing is, they weren't going to sit there. They fired Natalia because she lied. They know that Sitwell is dirty in a sense, and they're still willing to work with him because they have to. So if they could sit there and look at it that way, why would they bring back the same actions that played Nicole? You forgetting that lawsuit against them because of Kimberly and your family member. Ron, thank you, Jonathan. Not thank you. Abu Wasik has no relation to Allah nor his family. Yes. Susan says the ladies of deception are all friends and they all like each other. I mean, yeah, that. But also, like, he's asking, like, does it make sense for Lucy to be hanging out with Sitwell, given that given that, given that she fired Natalia? But again, I feel like they're two separate things, though, in a sense. Quite quick. I'm finally able to watch Beyond the Gates. I'm so happy for that. And this episode, GH, I wasn't really focused on, but this Geo stuff is pointless. Like, who cares? Sunny, Pop, AJ, too bad, so sad. Yeah, no, I get that you don't. Well, the point is, it was wrong for what Sunny did. Sunny literally sat there and killed an innocent person. Um, but given your age, I'm not going to really sit there and debate that part with you. Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. You probably wasn't really like watching it all the way through, but what's good, Gemini? Oh, hold on. Let me take my drink before I answer that question. Honestly, tell you the truth, Spider, I can't even comment on that. So I don't know fully. I would have to go back and really watch. What's good, Gemini? I mean, how do I feel? I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I mean, it was very cringe to sit there and watch. If we're gonna be honest, it was a very cringe moment to sit there and watch. I think I'm just more surprised. Like, nah, it was cringe to watch. I don't know. I had so many different emotions going through my head about that. Because let's be honest, the people that don't like Drew, I'm pretty sure they were like clapping and celebrating and hip hip hooray and all that other stuff. But see, my thing is, regardless of what happens to Drew, Portia's still not free. Nina gets what she wants, but Portia really doesn't. As said, do you know when Sonny and Jason had that conversation about AJ? I can't remember that one. No, I can't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember that either. But I didn't think it was funny. If we're gonna be, if you know, in my opinion, I didn't think it was funny. But I know everyone else was like relishing in that moment. That's how I felt. And that's another thing now, right? Kim and I said I was on the floor because this is the real Drew. I can care less about Portia and See, that's my thing though, Jay Blue. Um, Portia's gonna get found out. Now I don't know what the hell is gonna ask. Why is Portia so interested in Drew medical records? Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Portia's gonna get found out, and hopefully she get found out about the medical tampering. Of course, Liz, she got found out, and well, they promoted her. When she got found out about her helping and kidnapping Esme, and this chick got a goddamn promotion? She got a promotion. So at this point, who the hell knows what's going to wind up happening? But I just want I saw Portia Smith there like celebrating everything like that. I was like, celebrate too long. Your ass will still be grass. And when Willow finds out what Nina did, well, I mean that relationship is definitely going to be cut. And that's when I'll sit there and laugh my ass off. And if Portia gets arrested, am I going to laugh my ass off? Jibber says Liz had consequences before she was promoted. What was them again? I don't remember. Gemini says the thing is the quarter made money at name changed Drew's life. He was just a fake Jason before that. What's good, you want? Honestly tell you the truth, I don't remember her having any consequences. Um, Probably wasn't to your liking. Maybe. It says Portia needs to come clean to Curtis. Nina should just tell Willow she was sleeping with Drew. Oh, and thank you, Ed, because that's just going to come out too. So while Nina's sitting there having that smirk on her face, now Darby says, I don't care if AJ was the biggest screw up in the town. If he was my brother, who I couldn't stand, and my friend murdered him, then friend, yeah, no, and Darby, and I agree with that. I agree with that. That's why I was fighting for. He said what he said. I was like, yeah, okay, bro. Um, but you gotta sit there and think about this, Star Darby. This is the exact same This is the exact same man that um well was caring more for Carly's kids than his own kids. Yeah, no, Jonathan. And if I have time, I may wind up doing a review on days, even though I'm pretty sure um the numbers aren't really good. But I may just do it if it annoys me that much. I may just decide to do it anyway. Because my whole thing is now Jay Blue says in Nina's head it would ruin her relationship with Willow, even though what she's doing now will do the same. Yes, exactly. Uh, Justin says, "Do you think Johnny made the right decision?" Yes, I think he made the right decision for him. I think that Chanel was not there being very selfish. I think that she was being very condescending. Well, no, I felt like she was being very selfish. I didn't like her trying to tell Johnny how to feel. I damn sure didn't like her sitting there trying to shush Johnny like he was a goddamn child. But the thing is, though, Johnny did blindside her. Johnny did blindside her. And just to the other comment, um, I never really liked Tate. And in all reality, even though Ron has been saying some very whatever, at the end of the day, bro, listen, take care of your damn kid. It's not about you anymore. Take care of your damn kid. You sit there getting all mad and upset that he won't take your kid. How about you sit there and man up? You're a man. You're a man enough to sit there and have sex. So be man enough to sit there and take care of your goddamn child. Like, no, I got no sympathy for it. What's good, Duane? As says Albert, he also told GH he chose Sonny over his family for years. Exactly. And that includes his damn kids. He chose Michael over his own kids. That's something that I cannot get past. And I know people will sit there and say, but Albert, you have to understand, Michael was like a son to him. Okay. And then you had actual sons, biological blood sons of your own. And yet you still chose to care more about Carly's child than your own child. So I should tell you the truth, you could just like, no. Um, Tell her daughter to sit there and put on her big girl pants and raise that damn child with Johnny. I mean, raise that child with Tate. That's what she should be doing. I'm gonna be sitting there playing this BS. Exactly, Ed. Exactly. But you know he's gonna sit there and act like the little POS that he is. So you know that's gonna be all sorts of fun to deal with. Shit, I didn't even. All right, how many people in the chat are still watching Wine R? Tommy, I know you're watching Wine R. I don't know if you're still in the chat, but how many people in the chat are still watching Wine R? I did talk about Wine R for a little bit. I want to sit there. Oh, Mariah's back. Oh wait, who's watching Wine R? Susan, what did you think of Wine R today? Okay, Susan Blackmon. Okay, what did y'all think of Wine R today? I wonder what's going on with Mariah. I wonder what's going on with Mariah? Again, I'm glad that Phyllis got fired. Um, Phyllis sat there and really manipulated Billy. Because let's be honest, this was any other employee. Pac-Man Construction. Okay. Now Janet says I can't get into why. Why can't you not get into why not? I'm very curious about that. I know your reason for days, but why not? Mariah's back. That's right. Nobody cares. Oh, Mariah's back. Exactly. Yeah. No, she's back, but she's acting different, and I'm very curious on why. Um, I wonder if Sally's going to sit there and work with Billy. I don't even understand why is Sally letting Audra get in her head as far as like leaving the job that she loves to go work with Billy. Janet said it has become slow moving and no character draw. Okay. I said Jason still won't bring up Jake, and um, Jason, you have another. Yeah, I'm like, Jason, you have another son. Reach out or go visit and take Danny with you. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, Tommy, she just said because it's slow moving. YouTube. Literally, if you just type in Hollyoaks, and their actual profile comes up, and they're full episodes too. They're not just clips; they're full episodes. So yeah, I'm watching it here. It's but the thing is, that, yeah, Tommy, it's good when you if you have time to get into it. It does take a little. It does take a little bit though, Tommy. I think it took me like true tries to like really get into it because I stopped watching it for a while, then I went back. Pac-Man, hey, do you still watch Weiner? Yes, I do. Pac-Man. Susan says Phyllis is out of Abbott, but look how loud and dramatic she was when Billy at the restaurant. Yeah, and I knew the conversation was going to go tits up when she brought up Daniel's name. I knew the conversation. No, but Darby, it's a good show though. You gotta give it a hot minute though. Yeah, Ron. Well, thank you for agreeing with me, I guess. But yeah, no, I stand on that though. Yeah, Ed. But the thing is, you saw how she. There's one point where they're talking, and she's like, "What about what I want?" And see, Ed, for me, if I was getting yelled at like that, um, well, first of all, the tone would definitely have to sit there and change. But in all reality, I probably would have snapped and be like, okay, if you want a child so bad, go ahead and get one. No one's stopping you. But I don't understand what planet you honestly sit there and think that you're just going to tell him that he should have a child because you want one. Like, you are the center of the universe now. Yeah, Tommy, and that's see okay, but here's the thing though, Tommy. Like, B&B is shorter, right? It's easier to get into B&B because it's like only 18 minutes. Um, and when you're a busy adult just doing things, sometimes like time really does matter. Johnson says, "Do you think Philip making amends with Xander is hopeless?" I don't think it's hopeless. I just think it's going to take some time, though. But the thing is, though, Jonathan, what annoys me a little bit is how, like, he's coming across as a bit of a hypocrite. How many times has Xander screwed up? Like, the latest one was with him and Bonnie, and he wanted Bonnie to forgive him like it was no tomorrow. He wants Sarah to forgive him like there's no tomorrow. You know, he screws up with, and that's another thing. Maggie can sit there and forgive Xander, but you can't forgive Philip. And how many times does Xander sit there and F with your daughter's heart? So like Maggie, you are on a whole different level of like. And Janice says B&B moves along quicker. Yeah, um, yeah. I can appreciate I can appreciate B&B in that sense. You know? Well, I don't know about over their heads, and um, got some very interesting opinions about that. But I mean, marriage is a test, right? Marriage is a test in a sense. Tommy, different folks with different strokes, right? Johnson says, "What if Kristen hired a hitman to go up to Xander Phillip to save his life?" Yes. It's Jonathan. It's the same thing with like Beyond the Gates, right? So like Chelsea and Tommy says, "How you doing, Janet?" Yes. How is the lovely queen doing? So Chelsea and Naomi are very stagnant against um Bill. But a health scare, what did I say? Different strokes for different folks. Okay, I know I so did not say that right. But thank you for catching me on that. I mean, danger, a health scare will definitely sit there and tip that balance. Um, and I think somebody needs to sit there and remind him how much of a hypocrite and everything like that he has been. Oh, you stop it. Being a bad girl. Being a goddamn bad girl. See, I was trying. See, I was. I guess you waited till my dad left. Um, I was think they're trying to be on my best behavior. All it takes different strokes to rule. After all, it takes different strokes to rule the world. See, I was trying to be good. I don't know if Nikisha's still in the chat, but I was trying to be good, and you're isn't there being bad. But I think Nikisha and my dad left, so well now I'm just gonna wild the fuck out. Ryan says if Vivian did tell AJ that she had Stefan kidnapped and his signature for it because she it was the best outcome, would he be happy? Now no. If this was before Coma EJ, then he might have took a certain level of pleasure. But now no. Yeah, see Duane, the cat lady loves to act bad. She likes to be a bad girl. And I know how to handle that. Yeah, but you saw what I'm saying now, right? Ray Jonathan, like the level of just being such a hypocrite though. Debbie says Maggie's out of pocket with Philip. Philip has every right to get his birthright as Victor's son. Maggie was Vic's widow, but Philip was the yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm sitting there saying, Darby. Like he could have fought that shit. He chose not. He chose to be a better man. No, the F he don't. Okay. hmm Oh, I'm more than up to test that theory. Um, it says Xander's last mistake was trying to kill Brady by setting things up to make it look like Brady killed himself. Oh, yes, you're right. No, you're right, Darby. I'm saying he chose to be a gentleman and not do it. But you're right, Ed. You're right. And didn't Maggie find out about that? Yes, she's like, oh, well, damn. Okay, Darby. Let's not go that hard. Okay, I guess Darby's going a little more hardcore tonight. What's good, Tracy Staves? What if Xander finds out that Sarah knew about the secret? Well, then he's gonna be pissed. Oh, 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 damn, Black Man, you saw that? Uh, I mean, according to Cat Lady, oh, oh, damn. I don't have a comeback line for that one, Black Man. I guess I just have to sit here in this very beautiful chair. Ooh. I'm cool. Listen, Jonathan, I'm cool with that. I'm cool. Not that BS nonsense of the Gwen Risa. But ask another question. Yeah, seriously, cat lady, I put a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I felt like I was very thought provoking in my email. I'm sorry, I can't let that shit go. Like, you think that Philip could sit there and handle Gwen? Like, you think that Philip can handle Gwen? That's yes, yes, exactly, Jonathan. That's what I said. That's what I said, kind of lady. As said, Albert, it will be justice if Xander finds out and gets back with Gwen, but not use her again as a placeholder for Sarah because. But see, that's the thing, though, right? That's what it will come across. It will come across just like that. Like, okay, I'm having problems with my marriage, so I'm gonna sit there and go out my old flame. Um, no, Ron. Gwen doesn't want to go to jail. That'd be interesting. I'm open to it, Jonathan. I'm not totally opposed to it. I'm not totally opposed to it. But but that's the thing, though, Ed. So okay, so you look at something like that, right? And then, well, I don't think that you watch. What's good, Samuel? What are y'all talking about? It's in the title. Is Johnny and Chanel love story over? But how you doing tonight, Samuel? Yes. The question is Johnny and Chanel's love story over? But see, that's the thing, though, right? What Xander will be doing is exactly what Ridge did to Brooke. You don't think so either? Okay, that's right, Tracy. Taco Tuesdays. Tracy, you know the other day. You know what else Tuesday is for? On Tracy Steves. You know what else Tuesday is for? I think it'd be interesting to see. Right? You know, I totally forgot about that. What was that other guy, Mayor Rollins or Rollins? Remember that? Remember that story? Samuel says somebody will probably talk to Johnny about how he can take his chances, take his chance to be a better father than his dad, and he will decide to raise a child. Yeah. Um, and of course, you still got the whole who shot EJ thing, right? But that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know if you're watching Born the Beautiful, but that's the same thing, though, right? For all my people that's watching Born the Beautiful, um, well, the thing is, Darby, she knows what it's an inside joke that she knows what I'm talking about. But you don't okay, you don't watch B&B. Okay. Well, I mean, it'll just be the same thing, but okay. Ed, I wonder if they're gonna recast Chad. I wonder if they're gonna recast the Chad character. I mean, yes, it's funny. Samuel says B&B is the cartoon itself. I always sit there and say that it's a sitcom, right? I always sit there and say that Bold and the Beautiful is a sitcom. I enjoy it for the most part. What's good, Sean? I enjoy it for the most part. I do. Um, I don't think it's super stellar. I can definitely see holes in that show more than the other ones. Flip flopping Forrester. Oh, Sean said, did you see Daniel and Tessa getting close? Philip likes her more than Heather as a daughter-in-law. I don't see that, but okay. Um, but I will sit there and say this much though. So if Daniel and Tessa gets close, then what's going to happen to Taraya? What's going to happen to Taraya's Tigers? You know, what's gonna happen with that? That's the burning question, right? Hmm, I got you. That's for me, that's what I always refer B&B to. It's a sitcom of soap operas in a sense. Daphne is anyone actually watching B&B? Because I'm sitting there like talking about B&B. I'm like, is anyone watching B&B? Just looks great with that hair color. I gotta get used to it. I gotta get used to it. Kelly. It's like when Maxie decided to stop dyeing her hair, and she came in with just jet black, and I'm like, what the is this? Ron, you are a national treasure. This and a pitiful. Justin says I'm waiting till Jack Moran returns to the show. Sean says I bet Nina reveals she slept with Drew at the nurses' ball. I think it may get out. I don't think that she's going to reveal it. As says, I like the JJ character, but putting him with Gabby shouldn't have happened. They should have waited to find those two somebody else. Yeah, it's Jake. Like I said, JJ isn't built for Gabby. It's funny, Jonathan. I thought about that game, and like we can. Well, if you want to play it tonight, they can. I definitely want to sit there and try to introduce that game into the member circle. But I gotta get used to how to play that game because I want to play it. I just have to get used to how to play it. Monique says I got tired of the whole Destiny thing with Brooke and Ridge and Eric kissing Bridges' ass. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, Monique. It impresses me that there are people that love the show, right? Baby girl, would you give me a face expression for? You stop it, little badass. Christina got some nerve playing in Molly's face the way she's playing. What do you mean by yeah? Yeah, Monique. First of all, I'm impressed at the fact that the show still has fans, right? And then like even today, which I don't know if anyone watched it, but you got Eric is kind of a snake. He's kind of a scumbag in a sense. He said today that he admires Taylor, but you don't respect her. Okay, you smile at her face and have no problem stabbing her in the back. You know, but Eric did drop some knowledge today to Rich, like, yo, listen, you overreacted. You got upset with Brooke and you just left. And then and then you moved her into the damn house. You moved her into the house so fast. Like, what are you doing? Sammy says Eric wasn't shit either back in the day. I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe I just love John McCook. Maybe I just love John McCook. Yeah, I'm not asking that question. I'm not asking that question. Um, I said Bo's supposed to come back, but I'm over his entrance, over interest being dramatic, and it comes out of nowhere because last time it was planned better. I just, this whole I'm dying part is just so like, says, I like Eric too, but he was trash back in the day. Oh, and Tracy Steve says, hi, Cat Lady. Hope your day's going well. But that's the thing, though, Sean, right? So you look at that, and then you look at the Liam situation. You look at the Liam situation. Like, damn, why you sat there, um, blabbing out our imaginary business? Oh, Ron, I expect better. I expect better. I mean, if I was like actually drunk, I probably would have said some more stuff that I probably shouldn't have said. But it's a good thing I'm not drunk. So. But that's the thing, though, Sean. Again, like Liam. Liam is supposed to be dying. And, they're going to do the exact same thing that they did with what you call it. Exactly, Sammy. I was just there saying, like, the whole Liam thing now. But the point is, I'm not saying anything now, Kelly, because, I can control my drinking calories. But, yum, Ron. The answer is yum. Yummy, yum, yum. Okay, that's the level of stupidity that I'm going to sit there and put out. That's the level of stupidity I'm going to sit there and put out. Sam said, but you're just watching Beyond the Gate Star, right? Thank you, Johnson. Johnson says it's called add a word, run a soap opera title. You add an extra word to any title of a soap opera and only add one extra word, no replacing. Of course I am. Yeah. Um. Fuck. You came out with some good ones though too. I feel like it would have to be put in a smaller circle, like a member stream. Um. I feel like I have to have time. I wish I would have probably did this before I start drinking. I had some good ones afterwards. I had some good ones afterwards. I had one for Born the Beautiful too, but then I realized it wasn't really that good though. It says Albert Lulu having a good week job wise. Her adoption article coming together, and she was in the right page to get a front page story for her banner. She better get her bills for that house. Listen, it was just laughable at the fact that like that she got the house before she got the job. Samuel says one thing about Leslie on Beyond the Gates is she's gonna play in people's faces. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to get a little kind of, over her character. Yes, Ron, 3 more years. 3 more years. Johnson says I'll start the Neil Young and the Restless. Oh, okay, that one's better. One Piece Life to Live. Okay, now Black Mom got one. Happy Days of Our Life. Okay, that's a good one. She is doing too much. That's a good one, Black Mom. That's actually a good one. I gotta think of one. I mean, yeah, you literally came out with like three in a row. Like, ooh, okay, there we go, Cherry. Cherry says Ryan hope not. Okay. Ron says Victor Newman and the Restless. See, the lives of our lives. Well, let me go back to his. Not okay. There we go. Like Samuel, not all my children. So you're not taking away a word from the soap opera. You're just adding another word to either the beginning, the middle, or the end. Yeah, exactly. Just fuck it. Let me sit there and pen this. So exact. What's good, Lakeisha? Okay. As the World War turns, I want to add. Fuck me. As the world turns, bitch. Okay. Yes. Yeah. See, Samuel got it. It took me a second to kind of get it. I just can't think of anything for some odd reason. I'm not even drunk. I literally cannot think of it. There we go. Yes, that's actually how you do it. Okay, Ed says General Hospital is Carly's World. It might as well be Carly's World. How much they actually have her in all these stories. I feel like that one was played yesterday. It's a good one, but I could have sworn somebody said that yesterday. All my God's children. Okay. Ron says, Samuel, how do you feel about days of Albert Bostic alone? As says the pretty young and the restless. That's good. Monique says the how many times we gotta watch Brooklyn be pathetic, aka being big. Daphne is starting to get up there though too, right? Like Daphne is doing definitely too much. Why not? Okay, why not? You ready? And Blackmon says, "One life to live to tell." I have one for one life to live, and I should have wrote that shit down, but like, thank you, Jonathan. Here, let me tell you something. Jonathan is just doing this shit off the top of his head. I don't. I couldn't even sit there and think of one yet. Sarah says, "I feel like that's what Albert should call his life." Okay, now this is good. Ed says, "Passions double boils in trouble," and it's because Passions had like witches and warlocks and stuff. I like to live to eat noodles. Okay, Terry says, "Oh, and a beautiful day." Blackmon says, "Sunset Beach Towel." Listen, Blackmon's actually doing pretty damn good. Blackmon's holding his own. Oh, and a beautiful cancel. We got to get 8 more years. They should do an 8 year renewal for Bold and Beautiful. That's what I want to say. 8 year Bold and Beautiful renewal. Brad Bell, make it happen. Make that shit happen. I'm not gonna lie. I can only imagine the look on Samuel's face when I said that shit. Second generations. I love that argument between Victor and Michael yesterday. I did too, but I felt bad for Michael because Michael, he looks to Victor like a father, right? And I don't know. It was a good conversation. The 8 year. There's the 8 year y'all be watching. I was like, yeah, I can only imagine the look on your face, bro. Oh, and a beautiful liar. God damn. I wish I could sit there and take a one, but like, y'all just moving too fast. I gotta just kind of spectate for a hot minute. The the bold eagle and the beautiful. Okay. Ed says the young and the restless, not the poor and the restless. Timmy says, well, Michael started working for Victor because I believe Michael violated his oath as district attorney. You know that. Darby says, days of our sad lives. Okay. Well, Jonathan, the turnout is a lot better. I think yesterday people were just trying to get used to it. I wonder if Nikisha actually went up doing her. Yes, she did. It just takes some time, Jonathan. It just takes some time. It's still a tricky game for me though. And it says, I think Victor expects loyalty to the metro of people who will have his back. Yeah. Like I said, it's interesting because like I look at their relationship, this surrogate father and daughter relationship, and in a sense, like Victor, Victor, the way he talked to Michael is the way he would talk to all his kids. He would talk to Nick like he would talk to Victoria like that. So like while he'll sit there and be like, remember who you're working for. That's how he treats all his kids. Don't worry about you. I'll come up with something. Yeah, I just you were just you were popping them off so fast. I was almost kind of intimidated. I was like, bro, I don't know if I can keep up with you on this. Days of our possessed lives. Okay, but in the game. Ron says, I hope that this week Marlena tells Bev to get out of her house if she continues to be with. But Ron, I thought that EJ was your favorite character. I thought that you loved the coupling of Belle and EJ. General Election Hospital. Well, it's better than what I would have pulled out, which I don't even know what it would have been. But yeah, but that's how Victor Michael is advising him that his plans could backfire. And Victor gets mad. I really think Michael was trying to tell him, "You're too old for this shit." I mean, both too old for that shit. If we're gonna be honest. Um, Samuel, what do you think about Audra? What do you think about Audra and her working with Victor? What do you think about that? Oh, Melinda. Okay, all right, cool, man. I just want to make sure I got it right. Want to make sure I got the information right. How was I saying before? I don't remember what I was just saying. You see, you be asking my questions. I feel like I need to come. Yeah, if you wanna, I can't type that fast. No, it's cool. If you wanna come up, I'm gonna be on for like another 10 minutes. If you wanna come through, let me know. I'll send you the invite. You're at okay. You're asking about Audrey and Lily. Okay, so do you think? Okay, what do you think about Audrey working for Victor? My bad. What do you think about Audrey working for Victor? All right, cool. Okay, it is sent. Okay, lady, I love you. I love you so much, you bad, bad girl. S says, do you think that Willow's going to even buy what? Why would cheat on her because she does hero worship this man? I don't think. I think she would quite to be honest. Well, Chuck, I always gotta sit there and at the end of the day, I'm a romantic at heart. Romantic at heart. That's the thing, though, Cherry. She's sassy, but I love her. Um, it'd be kind of odd. Ooh, okay, hold on. Darby says all my children support. All my children like all child support. Okay. Um, what was I gonna sit there and say? No, 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 don't say that. No, don't say that. Don't do that. No, no, no. But that's the thing, though, Ed. You can chalk that up to just a drunken mistake, right? You can chalk that up to a drunken mistake. I mean, Willow does know that alcohol will kind of like, yeah.
Hey,
Yo, what's good?
oh, I'm tired. I literally just
Oh,
had
good to
dinner.
see you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. It's like my thing is blurry. Can you see me?
No, I can see you.
Okay. So
Let me just turn off my AC because there we
that
go.
gives me time to wipe off my. I feel like I need to wipe my camera off. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? Okay. So what was the question again about Audra and Lily? Or
Yeah, no, it was about Audrey. Do you think um uh, what do you think about Audrey working for Victor again?
um, to a degree, I don't care. um, the only if it happens, I need it to work in a way where Victor loses something. Like it can't just be Victor helps her get a company, but there's no backlash within his own company or within his family. That's my whole issue. Like I kind of hope that it kind of turns into like a I'm not saying that she has to like break up Kyle. I think it needs to just like I don't know what needs to happen to be honest with you. I'm just kind of feeling like Audra and this whole like going back to get this company for Victor just so that she can break up Claire and Kyle. I don't feel like Claire and Kyle's relationship is important enough to do anything. I feel like he really should have just been talking to Summer. He should have just it should have just been an internal thing where he causes a rift between Kyle and Claire through Summer. Like have it where Summer actually gets pregnant by Kyle. Whether it would be through stealing his sperm or like I would have it where she make make Summer turn into Phyllis from like the 90s, have her rape Kyle, steal his sperm, and get pregnant by him.
Mm.
I just think I feel like Young and the Restless. Look, I can call a spade a spade. Young and the Restless ain't good. It's just not. It's just not. And the reason being is because, in many ways, it's just like Bold and the Beautiful. It's just done with a more serious tone, where they kind of repeat Victor going after Jack, going after Victor. It's the same thing over and over again. And
Like Taylor and Brooke and Ridge.
well, yeah, that situation, but it's
As
just a
far as like the
different.
repetitives
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
just they're
Yeah.
just doing it differently. Where Victor at this point should not be the he should not be the one driving the story. He should be more like the person who advises the person who's doing the conning, or you know what I mean? Like it doesn't necessarily have to be his children. It could be like why Victor can't
Lily.
be, huh?
I mean like something like Lily, the whole Dumont stuff. Like
No, I don't even want Victor even talking to the black people, to be honest with you. I'm just I'm just tired of that whole like really if he's gonna be like dealing with Audra, it should be more in like turning her into a like she kind of is like an understudy to him. Like she learns things from him. And it really should be like the makings of a new Jill. That's what Audra should be. Audra is literally who Jill was like in the 80s. And they are not using Audra properly. Like, I don't mind her being with Nate, but I need Audra to be doing like, I need things to be happening that Nate can't understand, but Audra's pulling the strings.
hmm. Do you think that Audra was more interesting when she first came on as opposed to who she is now?
No, I don't like I haven't lost interest in Audra. I just think they kind of pick up the ball, then they drop the ball. They pick up the ball, then they drop the ball. It's like Audra would have been a good person to bring Noah. That whole thing that they brought Noah in to do with um who was it, Chemo's daughter, that we never even saw Chemo again. You just like when Diane came back and he was using oh no. uh-uh. Sheila got enough children out there that she ain't got to be pregnant by nobody. But there should have been what they should have done with Audra. They should have had Audra be brought into town by Noah as his girlfriend rather than she being brought into town by Tucker.
Why?
Because Audra and they made it clear that Audra and Noah was together and she had a miscarriage, remember?
Yeah, yeah, remember that.
So instead of telling that story, what they should have done is just she should have been in Paris or wherever the hell they was in LA. I don't know where they were. She should have just been the girl who talks Noah into asserting himself into the Newman company and going behind Victor's back, like having Noah just kind of take on this entity of you guys have all forgotten about me. You guys send me off to do work for Newman in another country. You don't think about me. You don't ever, and then kind of have a rift going between Nick and Sharon about how Sharon broke up the family and like have her complaining that this is why Noah is this way. He was not this way until you left the family. He became a lost soul. And that's the missing piece within the Newman family is that they don't have Noah, which Noah could probably bring um Audra into a more of a whole character, if that makes sense. Where really I would have just brought her in as Noah's girlfriend, helped him take over the company, and then she ends up sleeping with Nick. And what should really be happening with the Newmans is the same thing that happened with the Abbotts. They should have had Audra come in, help him take that company, get the company, they get married. Audra and Noah get married. They have Nick sleeps with Audra. And instead of it being the son this time, it's the dad stealing the girlfriend, because when it was Jill, Jack, and John, Jack slept with Jill. He slept with his father's wife, but have it this time where Nick sleeps with his son's wife.
Wow. Okay.
And that could bring in a whole nother dynamic between Nick and Noah. And I'm not saying that the love has to be lost between them, but what I am saying is have it to where there should be like a good 5 years where Noah just can't fucking stand Nick. Like he hates him, because it's not just about him sleeping with his wife. It could be about him just tearing their family apart by dealing with Phyllis, and then have Summer kind of be like, why are you doing this to our family, Noah? And just kind of have him go rogue and be like, if it wasn't for dad sleeping with your mom, you wouldn't even be here, bitch. Like, like you are part of the reason why dad destroyed the family.
Yeah. Now, I want to then ask you a couple questions for Beyond the Gates, because you was in the chat yesterday, and one of the things I remember you saying was like, y'all expecting a bunch of like explosions and stuff like that, because Bob Goose is on the scene or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you were saying that you like the build up and stuff like that. So
yeah, because
tell me about that. Yeah.
I'm just gonna be really real right now. Is that I feel like soap opera fans, I don't want to say they don't understand soap operas. I feel like they don't understand the genre. Every day is not going to be explosive. Honestly, those days that are slow and taking time, if it feels like it's slow, those are the days you probably really need to be paying attention, because there are things that are being said for character building. It's like that whole thing with Kat's birthday, and then Leslie telling Eva that her birthday is in a couple of weeks or some shit like that. That was kind of like sending a red herring that maybe these girls are probably twins, and Eva was probably stolen at birth. I think people don't understand that those little days that are very slow and nothing's like really going on, stuff is happening, but we're not paying attention because it's not like boom, 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 bam in your face. I think there's something to the lady who came in the police station who was homeless. I think I think she was there for a reason. That possibly she probably is related to Haley or somebody. A lot of this stuff that happens, you don't need to take it for granted. Like this is not a genre that is all about like every day is supposed to be like warp speed crazy. That's not how it goes. The whole point of the first week was to draw viewers in. That was like we were literally watching, because if you think about it, if you watch Beyond, let's say if Beyond the Gates came on without Danny going off, right? Let's say it was coming in as we were watching Danny and Bill and their daughters be one big happy family, but then we find out that he was later messing around with Haley. We would have been probably 6 months away from seeing the shit that went down at the country club on the first episode. So what we were watching the first week is the fallout of Danny finding out. Like, and to be clear, Danny didn't just find out that they were messing around. She probably found out 6 months ago. That was just leading up to them getting married, them getting divorced, all that shit. And then that whole situation with them moving, with Bill and Haley moving into the gates
Yeah, the
community.
gates, yeah.
So I think a lot of people don't understand. It's not soap operas. There's gonna be every maybe quarterly. There's gonna be like an explosive thing to happen. It's not gonna happen out of the gate. Like, if you look at how soap operas are ran, January, February, March, you have your explosive shit that happened at the like right before the end of the year in December, because it's a quarterly thing. January kind of slow, February kind of slow, and then March is boom. March and April. Now we're about to get the whole showdown with Nicole and Leslie and Ted. So you can't expect every day to just be like, yeah, it's just. And then if it was like all the time, there would be nothing to even
Anticipate and want
anticipate.
more. Yeah, that's because I remember, you've been a subscriber with me for a hot minute. I do appreciate that. And I remember one of the things you were saying was like, you have to no. What you said was y'all are watching soap operas wrong, in a sense. Like, you know, me. I usually come on there and be like, oh, well, this episode sucked, or this episode was boring, or whatever. And you just be sitting there and you just be like, because I know, you would sit there and say, like, that's not how, like, every episode is just going to be, it's, and how soap operas was back then.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I do
when
pay
you
attention when you talk.
when you compare soap operas to primetime television, primetime shows only come on once a week, so they got to give you everything they got in that episode, because you ain't gonna see it again to the following Monday or whatever day that it comes on. So they got to keep you wanting to come back after that one episode, because it ain't coming on every day. Whereas
No,
soap operas, they're coming on every day. So I don't expect every day to be explosive. What I do expect is that there just needs to be movement. That's all I expect, and it needs to be serious movement. Where, like, I understand a lot of people don't are kind of they're kind of over Leslie, but Leslie is the quintessential soap opera villain. Like, she is textbook villain. Like, everything about her is textbook. Like, she is, the way that she talks, the way that she looks into the camera, the way that a lot of times when villains have accomplices, in this situation, Eva is her accomplice. Most times the villain goes rogue. It never follows anything by the book as they have planned it. The plan is to keep Eva in her place. It's not to keep Leslie in hers. That's why Leslie does what she does. And that's why I keep saying, one thing Leslie gonna do is play in people's faces, because she playing in Eva's face, she playing in Vernon's face, she playing in Martin's face, she playing in Nicole's face, she even playing in her friends' faces. She
yeah.
done played in the whole cast's face, and nobody don't know what her real name is.
Johnson says, have you noticed that Beyond the Gates doesn't have an outdoor
That's not
setting?
true. That's not true. Bill and Haley were out. I mean, Bill and Naomi were outside. Remember?
The first week.
And Naomi and Chelsea were outside as well.
Yeah. I remember that being like the first week because it was shot so different that it was shocking and it was interesting.
But we also have to
Yeah.
make we also have to be clear that Beyond the Gates came on in the winter. So we don't know what the outside really looks like in the summertime. And if they're filming in Georgia, oh baby, they filming in Piedmont Park. Don't you think that those outside um those outside scenes ain't coming. They're in Georgia. It's gonna be hot as hell and humid, but they gonna be outside. They
Yeah.
filming in Georgia. Ain't no way they ain't filming outside. But keep in mind, it rains a lot in Georgia, so it's definitely hard to get outside in Georgia. That's why a lot of soap operas go to film in California because the weather's always nice. But it's cheaper to film in Georgia.
How often have you been in Georgia?
I mean, I'm from Georgia,
Oh, nice. Okay.
so that's where I grew up. But I live in Texas now.
How's Texas?
I live in Austin, so it's okay. I mean, I'm over America to be honest with you. So I really just want to move out of this whole entire country.
You just done at that point. No, I got
I'm
you.
really just done. I'm like, it ain't no more moving to states. It's at this point, it's just time to get the hell up out of this country. I'm
Oh, and
not.
Johnson says I've been in Georgia as well.
Oh, George is in Georgia, but okay. What other questions?
I think that was about it. But I want to have you come on there because I want to talk about that Pacific. Because when I started listening to this, saying, well, this episode was boring, this episode was trash. I'm always listening to just like, especially when I see you in the chat, I'm just like, he's just shaking his head. He just like he
Well,
don't
I
know.
just, I don't,
He don't know.
I just now I feel like right now the worst soap is Bowling the Beautiful,
Yeah, I
and
called it a sitcom, and what did you say? You said that you
it's
don't
the
consider it.
cartoon. It's the cartoon of soap operas because it does not act like a soap opera. Like the way they kind of almost had it right when the whole fallout happened with Brooke and Hope, and when they, like I said before, when they stopped Hope from slapping Brooke, they lost all cool points with me because it's not about trying to, like, I felt like they were trying to keep Hope in a certain place where she's not the daughter who's going to disrespect her mom. No, this is not how a soap opera works. It's not like Brooke and Hope got this relationship where, like, we've watched Hope grow up. Like, literally Hope is the product of her mama cheating on her sister, on Hope's sister with her husband. There's no reason that Hope, what we should have been watching Hope do is fight her, busy fighting herself. Like last year, we should have just been watching her fight herself not to be like her mama. But then, just once she found out like what her mom did and what Carter did, at that point she should have went rogue and got her piece of the company. That's what she should have been doing, and she should have been. She didn't have. She shouldn't have had to sleep with Ridge. She should have called the truth on Ridge, where she seduces him, not necessarily sleeping with him, but to show that he's no good.
Mhm.
That's
Kind of
my
like what Audrey's doing. Essentially, what Audrey's supposed to be doing to Kyle did.
Kyle.
Yeah.
But it don't really work because, in my opinion, I don't understand. Claire ain't been on long enough for us to be giving a damn about her and Kyle as a couple. If anything,
You don't think the sweet and innocent factor has something to do with people liking those two or liking Claire and stuff like that? Because she's all brand new and stuff. In a sense, like
well, I think the problem is that it's like they kind of Claire feels regressed. She doesn't. It's like she went from bad girl to all of a sudden becoming like Mormon in like a few weeks. Like all because she met her mama. And I'm just like, you've been with this woman your whole life. You've been with what was her name?
Jordan.
Jordan your whole life, and now all of a sudden you're goody two shoes.
That's like if they did that with Sam, right? Sam was, on Jonah House. Sam was more of a wild child. She was adventurous. That'd be like if she met Alexis, then everything would just
Yeah.
calm down. Okay.
Yeah, and Alexis and Sam was tumultuous when she came in.
Yeah.
Like they just didn't hit it off. Like my whole thing with Claire is that Claire ain't got no friends. She ain't she it's not that she has to be bad, but I don't need her to be like overly good either. Like I need her to be like, okay, yeah, I'm in the family, but I don't fuck with Summer. I really don't fuck with you either, granddad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if anybody can go rogue, it's her. Like, it's just kind of, and this really is where, if anybody should be like friends or kind of like, I don't know, kind of getting along in a sense, it really should be Claire and Adam. Adam is her damn uncle. Adam know what it's like to be an outsider and have kind of Victoria seeing why Victor always allowed grace for Adam and kind of having Victoria and Adam kind of having this finding like this common ground where she can be like, you know what, all this time I've hated you for what you did to our family, and now I'm understanding why dad treats you the way that he does, because she can now see it through her own daughter and not, and have her daughter kind of just going back in the past, just kind of hearing about the stories about how Phyllis was and reading Summer for filth, telling her your mama ain't shit. Your mama has done worse shit in this town anybody else has done. But we don't get that. We're getting this Amish Mormon girl, and I'm just like, I don't understand what's happening. But I'm gonna be honest. I told DC, me and him chat about soap operas. But I told him, I said, anytime a man takes over a soap opera, it goes downhill every fucking time. I don't know what it is with men writing soap operas, and it's like they leave like very important details out of these characters' lives. Like we just watched Phyllis and Sharon get kidnapped by Martin, that was, or Alan, who, whatever, who, I don't know. That
Martin.
was dumb. That was absolutely dumb. That should not have ever been a thing.
Do you think it's because it's just more about plot than like it's more plot driven
Yes,
and kind of keeping them moving than
but the problem is that when you're doing plots like that, we need to see the reason behind why it's happening. Like this whole time that we've been watching Tracy and Alan/Martin, there has been no signs that this man that we need to be side-eyeing him. None. That just came out of the blue.
Yeah, last
That
minute decision,
it
pretty
was a
much.
last minute decision. That writing was horrible. You got these two women. Like, here's my thing. I don't always need Phyllis and Sharon fighting, but I don't need them to be fucking friends either. They are never going to be friends. They are never going to be homegirls. Stop with that. If anybody was going to kidnap someone, the only thing that would have made sense to me was that I could have seen Diane kidnapping Phyllis because she was having that house renovated. And nobody was going to be in that house but the damn people renovating the house. Because everybody was out of the house. And maybe teaching Phyllis a lesson like, girl, you going to leave me alone. You're going to stop talking all this shit and just kind of have Sharon be in collateral damage. Like, girl, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kidnap you, but you was there with her. So I had to get you both.
Yeah.
Or just have it where she's playing like the playing this game where she's telling Sharon, you got to get out of here. I'm going to let you out, but I ain't letting Phyllis out or something. It just, that whole thing just was trash. It was stupid. It was dumb. It like, I'm feeling like Young and the Restless, because they're not making new dynamics within people's relationships, is stagnant. Like, Lily is always the one thing that I'm having an issue with Young and the Restless, and I'm going to be honest. Stop making Lily always fight with the other girls of color. Stop with that shit. She can argue with Phyllis. She can argue with Ashley. She can even argue with Victoria. But because you got to put them up on a pedestal and Lily got to be down here and she can't never meet Victoria where she at, we always got to keep her down here. Stop having her fight with the black girls and the Latino girls. Why she just can't be Lily Winters on the same level with Victoria Newman? That's crazy to me. And the other issue I have is, you're telling me Amy and Tracy are best friends? We ain't seen not one scene with them talking to each other.
Yeah.
Tracy going through all this shit with her man, and Amy don't know nothing about it?
Plot.
What I'm talking about?
But that's what I'm saying with plot. You know what I'm saying? Like, just put the plot out there and you miss the details of things like that. That's what I was talking about. You said that men, write these shows and it turns to, shit or whatever.
And Lily,
That's
let me tell you, Lily and Tracy should almost damn near be like a mother-daughter relationship, because Colleen, who was Tracy's daughter before she died, Lily and Colleen were best friends. There is no reason that Lily does not talk to Tracy at all. Like,
I don't remember seeing them talk once. I don't
like
remember seeing them talk.
when Lily is dealing with stuff, the number one person she should be calling is Tracy. Like, that relationship should be damn near like mother and daughter. But we don't get that, because God forbid if we have black people in the same room with white people having an actual real human moment. Devon is not acting like a businessman. All he come in and do is side eye everybody and then leave. I don't really feel good about him. I don't really trust him. Do you trust him? Sure, I'll be there to be a father. I'm coming home, Abby. Abby be gone for 6 months at a damn time. Like, what kind of marriage is this?
The kind of marriage, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, but it has a lot to do with the chick not being on contract anymore. But I see what you're
Okay. Well, the problem is that you don't write this character to be like the girl
contract
who plays
material.
Abby is not a bad actress. The problem is that they never counted Abby as a real character within the Newman Abbott dynamic, where we don't even see them in their own house.
Yeah, I remember when that whole thing with Eden Ward, and they couldn't be bothered to sit there and get um Abby there, and then it was like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks until she actually saw her father. And this is after he'd been out the hospital, he's been shot and everything like that. And it's just like, so is Abby coming at some point to sit there and see her dad, or we just going like
No, because the Newmans don't treat Abby like a real the
Newman?
Newmans or the Abbotts, but they
Yeah, I
treat
was gonna
her.
sit there and say like
And I think that's another story that needs to be told, where they did it like one time, but it needs to be more of like a full on story where Abby is like taking over. Like her and Noah need to be like taking over the company and whatever, and just kind of being like, look, y'all didn't never include me in shit anyway. Y'all ain't never include us in shit anyway. Now y'all all of a sudden, because we taking shit, now you want to talk. That's really what the dynamic should be. Because I'm sorry, as much as I like the actor Eric Braeden, it's time to put him on ice. This man cannot be the driver of story at this point. I don't care about Adam and Chelsea. Okay, they together. What now? You ain't doing nothing. I don't know what Billy's plan is. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't get how Phyllis and Billy is supposed to be working together. That doesn't make sense to me. Now you got Daniel back on the show, and all he wants to do is learn how to play the guitar. You ain't even that good of an artist as in painting. Why the hell do I want to see you play music? That's Noah's thing, is to play music, not yours.
hmm.
But no, but people don't know that because Noah ain't on the damn show, and Sharon and Nick don't ever talk about him unless they're talking about going to Europe. And what the hell does that even mean? It's like we
Yes.
don't have any type of real movement on this show, and nobody's a real villain, nobody's a real heroine, nobody's anything. It's just Young and the Restless is literally a shell of itself. It has lost its quintessential players. You don't have the new makings of Jill. You don't have the new Catherine, which it should have been Jill or Nikki, but we can't ever get anything with Nikki unless she's drunk. And that's just and is it just me, or who gives a damn about the renovation of these houses? Because we went through all of that with Diane in that damn house, in that house that candy cane as sofa.
I don't know. I liked it. I like the I like how it turned out, but I know a lot of people aren't really feeling it.
Well, I
So
think my thing is that, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It just didn't warrant the whole time that we waited. Like the Newmans was a little bit different because it's the remodel of the, or they rebuilt the house that Sharon had burnt down back in like 2012, I believe, or something like that, where she burnt the house down and no other house seemed to work for them over the years, and they just rebuilt the old house, which that feels more like, because that's the home that back in the 90s that we always saw Victor and Nikki in. The renovation of the Abbott house was dumb because nothing happened to it. If anything, you could have just changed the furniture. It just didn't make sense for everybody to have to move out just for y'all to show
Like,
us some set from 1982. It still look old.
before we wrap this up, is it any other thing that you want to sit there and talk? You want to sit there and mention?
Oh, so I am so sick of Christina on General Hospital. Now, when I talk about Leslie playing in people's faces, it's fun. When Christina play in people's faces, it's irritating. Because Christina, how you gonna get mad at your mama for drawing up papers to put you in a fucking crazy house, but you sitting up in Molly's face at the same damn time talking about why would you draw these papers up? Bitch, you know why. Tell your sister why. I don't like how Christina, see, this has been my biggest issue the whole time with Christina. She don't want to take responsibility for her killing her own baby. She don't want to take responsibility for showing up to Ava's home, not once, but twice. She don't want to take responsibility for cutting them damn brakes. And now she done put Elizabeth and Rick in the hospital. You ain't telling your damn sister that you almost killed her daddy. See, this is the shit I'm talking about when it comes to Christina. Christina want to play victim all day, but you out here not being a victim. Girl, you're very much a villain. You okay, don't like Ava, but don't sit up in your sister's face pretending, because this is the second person that she would have killed that Molly would have cared about. She killed what was supposed to be Molly's baby, and now you killed her father. You almost killed her father. And then for you to walk into Alexis's office trying to confront her about those papers in front of Molly, tell me, how could you betray me like this? And the whole time you ain't even telling your sister what you did. No, ma'am. You don't get no pass. And this is what I'm saying about, now, I will say this about General Hospital. Now that they have kind of put Carly on ice, they're transferring my hatred to someone else that they need to put on ice. And actually, it's two damn people, Lulu and damn Christina. Lulu, that baby ain't none of your damn business. Why you give a fuck? You just woke up. Can you worry about your kids that ain't seen you or that you ain't seen in 4 years? And you sitting up like wreaking havoc on Brooklyn because she ain't told Dante that they have a baby together. Girl, it's none of your business. Now, all of a sudden, you get a job and your first story that you want to write is about adoption. Girl, there's so many other stories you could write, like why your ass was in a coma for 4 years and now you just waking up wreaking havoc on everybody. Go to sleep again. I'm so sick of this. This has always been my problem with General Hospital. Now that they've toned Carly and Jocelyn down, now you just amp these other two bitches up. And it's too much. It is too much. Lulu don't have to be. My thing is, Lulu needs to call a truce with Brooklyn and just say, hey, I'll leave you alone if you leave me alone. I'm not going to tell your shit and you don't worry about mine. And I just think that's all it needs to be, because it's been 4 years. Brooklyn has grown. Brooklyn is married. Brooklyn she's not even on that type of time anymore. And if anything, if you're still mad about Brooklyn sleeping with Dante all those years ago, you really should have been mad at Carly, because she was the one who hired her.
Yeah.
But you're still talking to her.
Yeah, that's I'm not gonna lie, that's always been out of pocket as hell. Especially when she woke up and she started acting all crazy and she was like, oh well, I'm gonna talk to my cousin Carly. It was like, I mean, Carly the one that hired Brooklyn to seduce your husband? That Carly? That's the okay. Yeah, no,
That's
that's yeah.
that's what's not making sense to me. I'm like, okay, girl, you can pipe down. I just feel like Lulu has lost so much time that for her to just go on this rampage against Brooklyn, like, ain't neither one of y'all got Dante. She don't even want Dante. The only reason that you're here is because of somebody else that Dante was even seeing. He was with Sam. So it's just kind of, it really is giving Lulu is ungrateful. She's ungrateful. Like, you're not paying attention to the other blessings around you, but you're just hyper focused on Brooklyn. Like, you got a whole damn thing written out about Brooklyn. Like, did you see the list that day, or was it on Friday, where she had like this whole list written out of,
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
why? Like, that is insane to me. That's my thing, and I don't like. I'm sorry, I don't like Lulu,
Listen, no, you don't have to be sorry. We
and
all have characters that we like and we don't like.
I don't like Christina. And don't get me wrong, like, I feel like my level of hatred for characters on General Hospital like supersedes any other show, because General Hospital write the most polarizing damn characters. Like, I feel like Christina is worse than Leslie on fucking Beyond the Gates, because is Leslie is a bona fide. She's like, yes, this is who I am. I'm playing in people's faces. She know what she doing. Christina do shit and then she pretend like, I don't know why the bomb blew up. I didn't mean to touch the button. Like, what? It was a bomb. Like,
She owns it. The thing is that, yeah, I see what you're saying. The difference with Leslie is that Leslie will own who she is. She doesn't sit there and, well, I
well,
don't say she
she
doesn't play
has a
victim.
plan. She has a plan that's being carried out. Like, she's not like her. She's not revealing to who she's trying to hurt what she's doing. There's a plan in why she's not saying anything or why she's changing wigs and all of this craziness. There's a reason behind it all. Whereas Christina is like, I don't like you today, so I'm just gonna cut your brakes.
Hmm.
Like, and Christina is very, she doesn't think. She doesn't think about what she's doing. And with Christina, it's like she just, it's just stuff that's just happening. And there's no thought on why. She's like, fuck the fact that I'm pregnant. I'm finna go to Ava's house and confront her. You know what I mean? And then when you
Yeah.
get thrown out the window, now Ava killed your baby. You could have just stayed home. Like you could have, like you easily could have just put a restraining order on Ava. But you give Ava all of the reasons why, to me, she doesn't look like a villain against you. Because you come invading her space, not the other way around. And it's not Ava's fault that your daddy decided to sleep with her in a damn morgue and have a baby. Your daddy didn't even have to sleep with her, and you never would have been bothered with her when it comes to your sister.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that I have a problem with. She don't make her dad accountable for his choosings in women. Like Sonny don't be choosing the greatest women. Like, let's be real. Like, what he chooses is he has immediate attraction to some women, and then he hates them. And I think sometimes Sonny even hates himself for being attracted to the women that he hates, because even when him and Ava are arguing, he's still attracted to her. Even after all the shit that they've been through. Because it ain't no I just hate you. I hate you, but I still want to tap that ass.
Hmm.
It's the same thing with Carly. It's the same thing with Nina. It's the same thing with Brenda. Like,
you think it's like that with Olivia?
no, because Olivia and him they weren't around each other when she was raising Dante. I'm about to say Deontay. Deontay. Because he came in as an adult, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not really the same because he was already in Port Charles and she was in Bensonhurst, right?
Yep.
So it's not really the same. They're more like friend type of deal. They don't really have a sexual connection. But I think, to me, the best soap opera right now, in my opinion, is Beyond the Gates. And I think they have a good balance within, like, characters driving story. Now there are some things that I feel like could be a little bit better. Like, we really need to they need to put a stamp on who the hell Haley is. Is she a naive heroine? Is she is she really a villain / vixen? Like, I need something a little bit more to solidify Haley's place within this whole dynamic, because they got the right. I feel like it's not so much how the person or how Marquita Goings is playing Haley. I feel like the writing is not being played in a way, it's not being written in a way where we can tell if she is really in love with Bill. Is she playing the family? Is there something like it's something that it's like a disconnect, if that makes sense, where we don't know if she's like marrying Bill for money, or it's like one moment she's like trying to go back and forth with Danny, but then the other she's like, I really miss my friendship with Naomi, and she's trying to play like like she's innocent. So I'm like, well, are you innocent or are you fucking guilty? Because I need the writers to do something with that. Like,
Well, she
Have
comes across as it's ditzy a little bit though too.
Yeah, she comes off like a bimbo, but it's not in a it's not in a fun way. The way when Tina was a bimbo on One Life to Live back in the 80s. She doesn't play like either you're gonna be a ditzy bimbo where you got plans, but they just don't never work out. Like the way Tina was. Tina was a ditzy bimbo, but she always had a plan. It may not have always worked the way that she wanted it to work, but she was always just doing something where she was marrying for money or she was going to play around with Victoria's multiple personalities. Like there was always something happening with Tina. But Haley, in my opinion, I feel like Haley needs to go around within the community, the gates. She need to be finding out people's secrets and making Danny feel like she's losing ground through from Haley because Haley is finding out things within the community that can be used against all these people, and they start making her like a respected club member, or they start like putting her in different types of like party event stuff, like all or have it where there's like a day where Haley's she booked the club for Bill's birthday, and Danny got it for she's trying to get the club for her modeling something like she's doing a casting call for a modeling situation right at the country club. And what ends up happening is that these two girls are trying to book this shit on the same day, and Danny finds out Haley got it booked on Bill's birthday, and Danny this time doesn't win that situation and let it be Haley coming in. And it should just be where Danny actually doesn't even read the book. She just thinking she finna run her because let's just say the people are just too scared to tell her Haley got the shit booked. And then when Danny comes in, she's doing her modeling stuff with her and Pam and got people in there trying to audition, and have Bill and Haley come in, and Haley just have the staff, get this all up out of here.
Hmm.
And just have people just setting up for Bill's party. And she was like, oh no, girl. Have her just being like, oh no, girl, your little modeling thing here, it's done. And just, it needs to be something where I understand Haley slept with Bill, but it needs to be a tit for tat. It don't need to just be Danny always one-upping Haley, because it ain't fun that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't drive the story forward. And I just feel like something needs to happen where we either need to see Haley sitting by herself, and like somebody suggested on a podcast, she needs to have like a tablet or a notebook checking off all the things that she has been planning all this time. And she's, marry Bill, check. Like that should be like an end of a show, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then
not this whole her just being ditzy and just like you said, just having Danny just constantly or her being treated like shit and keep going back to the country club to be treated like shit over and over again. Where the viewers are just like, why do you keep going here for? You know?
or stand up for yourself and stop. My thing is, it don't have to be this, it don't even have to be like super diabolical. It could just be her making a scene in the country club and telling them, you're going to serve me and you're going to serve me now. Or I will put a lawsuit on this country club for discrimination, and just kind of going throughout all the years that maybe, because let's be real, ain't no country club been around that long and ain't done some stuff in their own time. Like maybe they fired people that ain't that didn't where it wasn't called for, and just kind of have it where Haley kind of, because if she's going to be in this community, I'm not saying she's got to be treated like a princess. What I am saying is people need to be so pissed off that they have to serve her that it makes Haley it makes Haley be like she gets off on people not liking her, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
You know,
That
like make her Maleficent. I don't fucking know. But,
I got you. Um, I think we're gonna sit there and wrap it up here. Just because I was supposed to sit there and be asleep an
I
hour and a
know.
half before, but no, but you know how we do that. But
Yeah,
thank you again
we
for coming
gotta
through
do
though.
something on like a weekend or something. But you gotta tell me because
Yes. No, but it's always good when you just come through though. So we definitely gotta sit there and set up like our own collab or whatever. Maybe have DC on or somebody, and we'll sit there and just be a good one. But it's still nice to always have you come through though. So thank you for your time.
no problem. You know, I like to come in and just you be asking me questions, and I'd be like, I can't answer all of these just through typing.
No. But it's cool when you come in, you give your opinions and stuff like that, and you always teach me something. So I do always pay attention. I may not always sit there and reverberate it, but I do always sit there and pay attention. So
Yeah,
I do. So thank you.
no problem, no problem.
But yeah, thank you for coming through, Samuel.
All right.
Appreciate you.
You have a good night.
How you too.
Bye.
But I think this is actually going to do it. Y'all know how I do. My plans never work. I was supposed to sit there and be on only for an hour, but clearly that didn't happen. But I'm gonna end the stream now because I have to be up in a few hours. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you Samuel for coming through. Appreciate you Samuel. Everyone thanks Samuel for coming through, and also thank you Jonathan. I'm gonna put it in the post as well. Um, yes. Thank you Wank, and thank you Blackmon. Thank you Ed. Thank you Cherry. There's so many other people, but you know who you are. Like Queen Cat Lady, Queen Nikisha, Queen Janet, and anybody else I missed, you know who you are. I will see y'all in the next stream. There we go. Laters.